everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Against All Odds. And as I say at the beginning of every podcast, it's a purely selfish reason I record this podcast because I get to speak to inspirational people. And today I'm so excited to welcome Robb McGeary to the show, who owns Fat Loss Fastlane. How are you, my lovely?
We are, as we were speaking about just a couple of minutes ago, we are overwhelmed with a potential, well, not potential, a pregnancy that's going ahead. We are midway through. So whilst trying to juggle growing, well, not that I'm doing it, trying to juggle growing two tiny little humans, whilst trying to build a business, whilst trying to live and survive and everything else is a challenge, but we like challenge. That's why we do it. Who wants an easy life?
Yeah. So 22 weeks. Yeah.
22 weeks, which is flown by.
Yeah,
terrifying.
Over halfway. Are you excited?
Equal parts terrified and excited.
Yeah.
But I believe nervous and excited are the same emotion anyway. It's just technically double excited. I've just not admitted to that yet.
Yeah, I love that. Now, you specialise in helping, we've just been talking about it, men over 40. How the hell did you get into that?
Well, by accident at first. Well, I like to think that the person you can help the most is the person who's most like you, right? So if I have had female clients, I've had female clients with insane body transformations and things like that, but I noticed that not my comfort zone, but I was getting better results and more of a connection and learning more from men who are over 40. And then I had just a bunch of clients, men in their 40s, come to me with the same issues, with the same excuses, with the same kind of lifestyle issues or hurdles that they were struggling to get over. And I felt like I already had the answers from the clients I previously had. And funny enough, most people need to hear the same thing. No one's really truly unique in their issues, especially when they're trying to lose weight, or they rarely are. And then I just kind of enjoyed it. The thing is, I enjoy training both. So I do one-to-one PT as well. So I have both male and female clients physically in the gym, but my main bread and butter is my online coaching program, the Fastlane, which is men. I think the women give too much back chat. the men will moan. The men will moan, and eventually they kind of go, "All right, I'll do it." But the female clients I've had give the sass back, and I'm like, "Okay, well, we're just gonna argue here." But that's not to say my female clients aren't amazing as well.
I do believe men are easier to coach as well.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, it's just literally, this is the nail, this is the hammer. Simple as that. We don't need to talk about why, or just do.
Just do it. Yeah, it's interesting. So, over 40, which is why I've got you on, right? Because we are a society, and I don't know when this happened, by the way, but it's all of a sudden, there was that saying, isn't it? Life begins at 40. But it seems it's the opposite, isn't it? It's like people give up when they're 40. Like, I'm too old. Yeah, I shouldn't be doing that now. And you hear all the excuses. Why is that?
You think about it, it should be living begins again at 40, not life. Because again, what's everyone's definition of life? Some people are happy to just be in the comfort zone, chilling in the evenings, not really chasing anything, 9 to 5. Not that there's anything wrong with that in the slightest, not discrediting that at all. But I think it's the point where a lot of decline happens without people noticing it. Because they're already tied up in their career, their kids are getting a little bit older, they're deeper into their marriage. Hopefully it's great, but as we know through statistics, not many are, and that's coming from a divorcee myself as well. Health issues may not have flagged themselves up yet. They're going to come a little bit later down the line. So you're in this weird zone where you've not got as much energy as you had in your 20s. You're maybe not as experimental as you were in your 30s. You're just kind of hovering. And some people can hover for a fair amount of time. Some people know there's more to it. And rather than taking the horse by the reins and getting on with it, they get frustrated because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And if we look, and we can talk about this as well, if you look at more what's happening from a physiological standpoint there, not just mindset, there's things behind the scenes that are stopping them from getting that drive, from chasing something, from beating off stress, so to speak. And you could just end up in this make or break situation of things are either going to get worse and they're going to decline in your 40s, and it could get really bad in your 40s, or it's not going to decline until a little bit later down the line, or you can say take control and begin to actually thrive a little bit and get some more enjoyment out of life and realize that it's not that old in the grand scheme of things. 40
No,
isn't
it's not.
that old.
It really isn't, but you hear it all the time. Women do it as well, but a lot of men do it as well.
A lot of men.
It's like an excuse as well, maybe sometimes not to do.
Massively so. Men in their 40s are terrible excuse makers. Most of my friends who are not in the best shape or kind of stuck in a job that they moan about all the time, it's excuse after excuse. And you say, well, what are you going to do about it? Well, I'm too old for that now. I haven't got the time for that. Well, the kids got to come first. And it's just solidifying excuse on top of excuse on top of excuse, to the point where you don't really know what you want anymore. You're just frustrated that there is something else that you want. We're terrible for excuses. And we're the worst at admitting it as well.
Yeah, well, you're quite straight talking as well, so I suppose you spot that.
I have to be with everything I've been through. So I'm 42 now, 43
you
in a handful of months.
To be honest, I thought you was younger.
See, I think the key is still believing that I'm 18, because I don't feel 42 physically. I don't feel 42. I don't feel 20 physically, but I don't feel 42 in terms of what goes on in my head, the thoughts I have, how I go about my day. I still feel like I'm an 18-year-old here. I like to muck around a little bit more. I've still got a severe lack of focus, and my attention goes all over the place. I don't feel like I thought I would feel in my 40s. But physically, I do notice the difference. And that's why I do what I do, to help guys get some level of fitness back that not necessarily they would have had in their 20s. Because you're in your 20s, your hormones are better, you're stronger, you've got less, you're less injury prone, you've got less risk assessment going on in your head, you're more likely to push yourself a little bit harder than you are in your 40s. But it doesn't mean 40s is a death sentence physically in the slightest. But I think what keeps me young is just forgetting that I'm actually 42 and still thinking
I love that.
I'm 18, which can cause as many problems as it solves. But
yeah, when people start moaning like they're too old over 40, I literally I'm like, I'm 44. No, but I don't feel 44, so I'm all right. Amazing. So, do you know what I'm hearing a lot of? And it's been for the past couple of years, because there was all that thing with menopause and perimenopause, but then it came out about men and testosterone. The stats for that are absolutely shocking, aren't they? They're on par with women and their menopause. Why has that happened? Because that's got to be linked into like the health and fitness side of things.
It's all linked. So we now have the same, on average, men nowadays have the same level of, or same testosterone levels as our grandfathers did. So, as our grandfathers did in their 70s.
Wow.
So on average, it's low, very, very low. Now, if you were to look at the average testosterone levels of men, not that we've been measuring them for that long, but in 1950s, 60s, and the 70s, men were doing more manual jobs. They were out of the house. They weren't sitting down all day watching TV. They were up and doing. Testosterone has many, many roles throughout your body, for not just for brain health, but for strength, muscle mass, body fat, libido, overall well-being. It's a very, very important hormone. But it's a reward. Your body creates more testosterone as a reward from you doing. So if you're doing less, you get less testosterone. Now, that's just one piece of the puzzle. So if we go back 40 years or longer, because that's only the 80s, which is terrifying. If we go back longer, guys are doing more manual work. There's guys in the military, there's guys working on farms, there's builders, there's less junk food. There's less easy access to alcohol. There's less methods to kind of sedate yourself with. Now we have multiple. We have the opportunity to drink ourselves stupid for a fairly low price. We have junk food that is easily accessible for a very, very low price. porn, which is very detrimental to your overall well-being and especially testosterone, is basically free as long as you've got an internet connection. And then you've got your environment, not just your internal environment of what your hormones are doing and your digestion and your overall mental health, the environment in terms of the amount of stress you're getting from your work, the people that you're hanging around. There's environmental pollutants, which actually have detrimental effect on your testosterone and other hormones as well. So now we're kind of battling this environment that, if you think from an evolutionary perspective, we weren't really set up to battle.
No.
And now add this battle with more excuses, less time, or the illusion of less time because you're too busy doing other stuff that isn't actually that important. Now we've created this, as it's known for men, it's the andropause. So females, you get to a certain age and then it's a sudden tank. This andropause for fellas is a slow decline over time until you notice, whoa, it's low.
Yeah.
But the terrifying thing is, it's not just guys in their 40s, 50s, 60s. There's guys in their 20s and 30s reporting very, very low testosterone now as well. Even some guys who are in fairly decent physical shape, hormonally, they're wrecked because of the environment that we're in now. And that's really terrifying.
Absolutely shocking. I mean, this country doesn't kind of back wellness at all.
Not at all.
And I just think it's absolutely shocking because you can't see your hormones. Like at the start of it decreasing must be, feeling a bit tired, and things you could put down to other things like the perimenopause. You could put these down.
Yeah, sure.
So they're easily missed. But that's quite concerning, really, isn't it?
That's it. Like if we wait for these things to suddenly happen. I forget who came up with the quote, but the body whispers before it roars. So low energy is not a good thing. We're not meant to be low energy. If we were out in the wild and there's lions and, I don't know, maybe dinosaurs, my history isn't that great. We don't need, if we've got low energy, we're a sitting duck. We're easy prey. Our body doesn't want us to be low energy. Like we have low focus on testosterone as well. Well, that's a bad thing. Evolutionary, we're not meant to have low focus. No. We're meant to be high energy. We're meant to be not averse, we're meant to be risk taking because we're the ones that were meant to go out and kill and fight. And we're meant to be high energy, high focus. We're meant to be meant to have good reproductive health to carry on the tribe, carry on the army, etc. Carry on your namesake, your bloodline. We're not meant to be tired, sluggish, lazy, overweight. We're not meant to be that. And it's difficult, especially in the UK now, because the UK is getting, this is another sign of testosterone as well. If your testosterone's low, the other hormones in your body are also out of balance. It's never just one hormone that's high or low. If one's low, another one's gone up and vice versa. And then you just have this completely incorrect hormonal cascade. So it's never just about fixing one thing and fixing testosterone. It's fixing the whole picture. Yeah. So if testosterone's low, estrogen is likely high. Estrogen being the main female hormone, estrogen produces female characteristics, testosterone produces male characteristics. Yeah. And if you have low testosterone, you are likely to then suddenly embody physically and mentally some female characteristics. There are guys with moobs, with man boobs. There are guys storing body fat in places that aren't the predominant areas for men to store body fat, such as their thighs and the back of their arms. Guys are getting more emotional now as well. And I notice this. And it's easy, without getting political, it's easy to say that the UK has got a little bit weaker in some of the things you are allowed to say and not to say. And if you look at one side of the spectrum, it's if you're a high testosterone male, you're that wannabe alpha male, you're Andrew Tate, your toxic masculinity, your things like that. And that's just,
I completely agree with
one fringe side over here.
Yeah.
And then over here, you've got the completely low testosterone, lost, directionless, overweight, sluggish, who can be just as toxic. We want to be here. We don't want to be high. We want to be optimal. Yeah. We want to be not just a decent level. We want to continuously produce that decent level over the course of our life until you get to the point where your natural testosterone will decline anyway through age. But it shouldn't be a rapid decline into the depths of low. It should just be a natural, normal drop, because when you're in your 70s, you shouldn't be the one trying to reproduce and go out and fight and kill the tiger and all that. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But
there'll be some that would.
yeah. I mean, hopefully in my 70s, I'm still, wrestling a few tigers every now and then.
Yeah.
But not in the war.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you say, because from a brain's perspective, we
Mm.
are modern day cavemen and women running around, but this modern world, doesn't. We are so far removed to what we should be doing and how we should be living. It's actually pretty scary.
Mm.
And yeah, so I completely agree. It's fascinating, but so if you're a male, you've turned 40 or you're 45 and you're like, right, I'm really feeling like shit, where do you start? Because I'm guessing you would need a bit of a life overhaul, like what you're eating, like what you're watching, how you're exercising. But where would you start first?
The one that everyone will say is the toughest one to start with.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Oh, nice.
It all comes from sleep. Because if you're getting the gym's great. The gym's one of the best tools that everyone should be using. And when I say the gym, I do just mean exercise. But training with weights from a testosterone perspective is the most important way to help boost that. Exercise, cool, amazing. Everyone should be exercising. Your diet, of course, feeds everything that you're building in your body. You can't produce testosterone on a crap diet. Your testosterone needs those building blocks that you're getting from your diet. And you can do all the little hacks. You can, nothing against these things at all. You can do saunas, which have been proven to help. You can do cold plunges, which have been proven to help. You can do all these things that will help with short-term boosts.
Yeah.
But the biggest needle mover in terms of your own hormone production is making sure you're getting the best quality and quantity of sleep, especially for testosterone and growth hormone, because that's where most of that hormone is produced during your sleep. So if you're not sleeping, you are instantly eating into your own natural production. You're going to limit that over time. And as you'll know, on a rough night's sleep, what are you doing the next day? Feeling terrible. You're moving less. Your mood's all over the place. Your diet's going to go probably out the window. And you just plow through it with more and more and more caffeine, which is not going to help.
Yeah.
That's going to feed into another night. And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's where people find themselves in, as soon as they are in their 40s. It's not just a case of things suddenly decline. It's now you're the result of all those cycles that have got you to this point. And you've either had good cycles and you're in great shape and you look semi-decent physically and your sleep's okay and your libido's as high as it should be for a 40-year-old, which shouldn't be gone in the slightest. Or your cycles have led you on a bad path because of overeating, over-drinking, undersleeping, sporadic exercise here and there, jumping from program to program and never really committing to anything. Poor mindset because of the people you hang around and the things that you choose to watch on your phone. That's the first place I would always start with everyone. And all my clients, even though they're coming to me mainly for training and nutrition, is sleep. Because if sleep's out, it's a tougher ride to get everything else correct. That's always the first place to look.
Yeah. And sleep's a big thing for people anyway. Like nationally, it's quite low. What was like hours that we're sleeping. And we've got this odd thing in society as well, believing that that's just how things are, because there's so many people that don't sleep, that are overweight, that are quite lazy, and it's just like, well, that's because that's what society does, and that's very sad, isn't it?
It's so sad. It's just, you're just getting by. You can survive on 6 hours a night maximum, and a couple of coffees in the morning, another one in the afternoon. You can snooze on the commute, and the blue light from your phone is going to wake you up anyway. And you can just get a surge of energy from glucose because you've chosen to have sugar for breakfast instead of some protein. You can get to by, but who wants to get by? Who wants to feel tired all the time and not actually feel physically and mentally what they're actually capable of, and how energetic they can still be till much, much, much later in life? But it just comes back to that. We've hit 40 and the excuses are already there, because it's not just what we've done over time, it's what we're seeing our neighbours do, what your parents did as well.
Yeah.
It's to an extent what you see on TV. Where's
Yeah.
the high
Yeah.
testosterone inspirational dads on TV? They don't
Well, they're
exist.
not allowed that, are they? Because
Not
it's
allowed that now.
toxic. Oh, what a world we
Yeah,
live in. What a
crazy, right?
world we live in. Like, talk about nutrition as well,
Mm,
because I do believe as well we are a generation of instant gratification.
mm,
So
massively so.
yeah, so it's
Mm,
like the food choices. I mean, you can walk around any supermarket and they will try and sell you the microwave meals,
mm,
the quick stuff. Like, we are wired to that as well now, which is also sad.
mm.
So I guess when you're working with people, it is a big life overhaul, but I can imagine probably the nutrition's quite hard, isn't it?
It's definitely a tougher one than exercise, because
Yeah.
exercise can be scaled. If I've got someone that's never trained in their life, I'm probably not going to be getting them doing heavy squats or sprints or anything like that. I'm going to start them off where they're at. Whereas nutrition, okay, you don't need to scale it as such, but there's a lot more misunderstanding. They've listened to a lot of other people's opinions and misinformation, and there's so much in the media on what diet you should and shouldn't be doing, and then that changes the week after, depending
Yeah.
what shareholder they're trying to boost
Yeah.
their revenue of, which is why you should never listen to what they're saying in the media, because it's paid for information. It's not necessarily the truth. But it's the tricky one, because we've also grown emotional attachments to not just types of food, but ways of eating as well.
Yes.
It's stress eating, it's late night eating, it's giving into peer pressure, the office feeder that brings a thing in that you said you wouldn't have another one of, and suddenly you've had 3 of whatever it was. And
Yeah.
it's shiny object syndrome, it's dopamine hits of whatever the supermarkets put out in front of you. And
Yeah.
what even, like, I on a Saturday morning, I train one of my clients, and I get off the train and Starbucks is right there. And yep, sure, people are going to scream at me, but I go and get an iced black Americano from Starbucks because it's a decent Starbucks and I like it. Well, I look at what else is on the menu, and it's not even coffee. It's all sugar and milk. And
Yeah.
the latest thing that they're advertising is a birthday. I want to say it's birthday cake. This stupid birthday cake flavor that everyone's doing now, which is just sugar and vanilla. Birthday cake frappuccino or something like that, right?
Right.
And they've released a limited edition cup to go with it. Big white, pink, flashing like sprinkle stuff all over it. It's like a dopamine dream
Yeah.
for people that like that kind of thing. Now I've got my Starbucks cup that I can show off to people, and that picture looks incredible. It looks like a cake. That
Yeah.
little sign, that little dopamine sign going, that would be amazing. I bet that tastes incredible. Get one, and then
Yeah.
you maybe get another one, because you're going to keep getting hit by that thing if you love it. So the idea is, it's not necessarily a complete overhaul of your diet, so to speak. It's more an overhaul of your awareness and your decisions. So
Yes.
I could write out a meal plan for a client and they could successfully follow it, or I could write another meal plan out for another client and it would be impossible for them to stick to, because just following directions on a list isn't for them, because they're so caught up in that dopamine cycle of that shiny object, that diet thing, that pink thing, that this here, the Tesco latest offer or whatever, and they're just so used to buying that. So it's, for them, it's a case of trying to notice how they're feeling, trying to
Mhm.
catch themselves, trying to ask themselves questions. Why they want that? Have they gone to the supermarket hungry, which you should never ever do?
Never do.
Are
No, I've
they?
plenty of times. Worst
I
thing ever.
I still make that mistake now. Everyone does. It's then a case of, am I tired? Am I hungry? Have I not eaten much protein today? It's trying to stop yourself, catch yourself, and get out of that automatic cycle of doing this, getting off the hamster wheel and going, okay, stop for a second. I don't need to buy this. This shiny object is not conducive towards my goals. I would be better off with this option instead. I came
Yeah.
to the supermarket to get chicken and or whatever. It's trying to catch yourself with someone who can just easily follow, like I said earlier, the hammer and the nail. Someone can just follow a meal plan, or I tell them what macros and calories to eat, and they and we talk about the right foods to eat, and they can just do, and that's cool. But that's not everyone. It's certainly not the majority,
Yeah.
because we are battling advertising and misfiring hormones and poor decisions and dopamine just completely making every decision for you. So for those people, it is more of an awareness overhaul and a decision overhaul, and looking at what you're doing and educating yourself a little bit as well. Like, I can't believe in this day and age we're still arguing over the relevance of calories. People saying calories don't exist. People saying calorie tracking is an eating disorder. People saying it doesn't work. It's a tool. Calorie tracking is a tool. And when done correctly, it gives you awareness of what you're currently eating.
Yeah.
And that is normally enough to shake people into, oh, whoa, I didn't realize how many calories were in this thing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that a Starbucks muffin and a frappe in the morning was 800 calories because I get a large whatever. I thought, and people's idea of what's actually healthy as well.
Yeah.
What's a genuine health food rather than what's advertised as a health food?
Yes, because you find that a lot at the minute, aren't they? Because they've realised that, you know, you are seeing a lot more people going to the gym and you know, doing ice baths, hiking's gone up massively as well. And, you know, the shops and the big promoters have kind of latched on to actually people do want a healthier lifestyle. So they bought all the food out, labeling it as healthy.
Yeah.
And actually, when you look at it, it's like, oh, hang on a minute.
It's crazy. You can now, I mean, you can walk through the supermarket and see types of junk you never knew existed, right? There's a, believe it or not, there's a Korean supermarket near the gym I work out of.
Right.
Let's just go have a look. I've never been to Korea. I don't know what Koreans eat. Let's have a look. So much nutritionless junk in there.
Really?
It's just packed full of, like, they're still producing stuff with MSG in it, which I thought you weren't allowed to do anymore. It's just like, you pick up the ingredients list and it's 50 things on the ingredients list where you could make that yourself with 4 ingredients. It's terrifying. Every country's doing it. And we're really bad in the UK because we're really good at label design and product design and
brainwashing.
just brainwashing. Like, there's so much of your data, of your decisions that you make, is already out there. We found it funny. We went into Sainsbury's. So obviously my girlfriend's pregnant and there's certain things she's craving. We noticed that when we went into Sainsbury's and we did the old automatic scan thing, the vouchers and offers that came up were all things that we normally buy. So like certain types of crisps that she's been craving, certain little treats that she's been craving, suddenly were on offer on our specific thing because we've bought that before. And you think, well, that's amazing. That's a nice little thank you for buying this little discount. But it's terrifying because they know whatever algorithm it's been fed into, and with AI, this is going to speed up even more. They know everything we've been buying, and we're more likely to buy again with just the tiniest little discount, which weren't even discounts. It's like 3 for 2. So you're going to buy 3. Of course, you're going to buy 3. And they know everything. All your buying decisions are already. Facebook knows everything. Google knows everything.
Yeah.
You can try and hide it now, but it's too late. All your stuff's already out there. And companies want to make a profit. It's rare to find a company that looks at consumer health over profit first.
Yeah, exactly that.
And if there is a company that starts off like that, eventually it gets bought out, or other investors come in, and then it changes. So sadly, our health is, or not even our health, our poor health is up for profit by people who are now labeling certain things as healthy that aren't really healthy. If you walk around, I waffle a lot. I really do waffle.
I like it, mate.
Especially when it's a topic I'm excited about, I waffle. I go on all different tangents. But back to your original point of saying, walking around the shopping aisles of what's labelled and promoted as healthy now. How many things up and down the aisles have protein or high protein written on them now? You can walk down the cereal aisle and see high protein. There's a high protein cheese. Now, I'm not saying these things are horrendous in terms of nutrition, but when you look at most of them, there's probably like 7 to 10 grams protein in each serving. So it's not particularly high protein. It's just higher protein than their non-high protein version. But any real decent protein source that should be in your diet doesn't need to have a label saying high
Yeah.
protein on it. You don't go
Yeah.
down the poultry aisle and everything says high protein on it, because it's just protein. You don't
Yeah.
need high protein eggs or high protein certain dairy foods. You don't
Yeah.
need that labeled
No, no,
on
no.
it. You just need to know what decent protein sources are, go get them first, fill your diet up with those foods and with healthy fats and with, you know, lots and lots of veg, and then fill the gaps with, okay, let's say you want a cereal, you can go get a cereal, as long as it's not a predominant feature in your diet every single day that causes you to be
Yes.
hungrier later because it's, you know, not particularly nutritious. It doesn't mean you have to go get the high protein, mega expensive version of some of these
Yeah.
things now as well. Like
Yeah.
you could spend a lot of money on high protein cereal when realistically you could just go get a decent protein shake and have a regular serving size of your favorite cereal, and you'll
Yeah.
probably enjoy that more, and it's
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
cost effective over a long term, and you're actually getting a bit more real nutrition out of it as well. So
Yeah.
again, it just comes back to awareness and decisions, looking at
Yes.
what you're actually doing, look at what everything else is trying to make you do, and catching yourself from just living on autopilot and just doing what you've
Yeah.
always done.
Yeah. That's it. Because they're just cashing in. Like I say,
Yeah.
nutrition, I mean, even like before this big surge in protein, nutrition's always been very confusing because, you know, back in the day, you had Weight Watchers, all these other different fad diets and everything. Then you can just go onto Google and there's so many more. So they know that humans are confused by diets, nutrition.
Yeah.
So the easiest thing is to sell to somebody that's confused.
Yeah, massively so.
Yeah, so,
Technically, that's why my industry exists.
yeah,
Really,
yeah,
it's not that there was always a need for people to understand from a complete beginner perspective. It's you know, the guys who were in the gym that looked like they knew what they were doing were the ones who were going to get asked questions,
yeah,
and then suddenly they're coaching people, and
yeah,
then they're creating businesses around it, and then they're creating courses around it, and then like any industry, you know, it gets bigger and bigger underneath, and suddenly everyone's an online coach now, and then everyone's a fat loss expert, whether they're qualified in it technically or not. But it's that's why my industry exists. It's clearing up confusion, and it's setting people on the right direction. That if you're a decent coach, is the right direction for the individual that you're working with,
yes,
because you can't just give out one cookie cutter thing and expect it to work for everyone. You do need a more individualized approach
yeah,
than you realize. But really, most people, as a majority, as the average, kind of need the same stuff.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just working around your lifestyle, because that's where
life,
your individuality comes into it.
yeah, absolutely. It's not one size fits all, is it?
No,
Well,
not at all. No.
nutrition. I suppose it's the same with exercise though as well, because if you've got somebody that hasn't exercised for a while, I bet you'll hear a lot of excuses about they've not got time. So that scares people, don't they? If you've got
Yeah.
a 40
Yeah.
year old man who's busy anyway, and you turn around to him and go, right, I need you to go to the gym twice or three times a week, he's just going to go into sheer panic, isn't he? Because like, where am I going to find that time?
Hugely.
So how do you get around that?
It's the biggest misconception I see, because I follow most of the men's magazines on Facebook, social media, and there's always an actor that's done a transformation for a role.
Right.
Now, I'll just say it because it is obviously true. Yes, there is some steroid use in Hollywood. Yes, there is some digital effect altering as well.
Yeah.
But if they've actually gone through it themselves and there's documented photos of it, you don't have to assume, like many guys in the comments do, that it's just steroids. Or the worst one I see is, and I see this a lot, and I try my hardest not to argue with these guys, but I always end up doing it. This is one of my favorite things to do. But it's guys saying, well, it's all right for them because they've got the time. They've probably got money for a personal trainer or money to live in the gym all day, personal chef, and all these other things. Well, none of that's really true.
No.
But you look at some of these Hollywood transformations, I could show you some of my own and some of my friends and other trainers that I know transformations where the client didn't train more than 3 hours a week, where the
Right.
client was cooking their own meals, not even using a meal prep company, where they were CEOs of large corporations where they're called into work at the weekend, where they're still on their laptop at 9 o'clock at night. It's still possible. You don't need all the time in the world to change your physique and to change your life. You just need structure to make the time to be able to do that. Most
Yeah.
people, when I hear them say, I haven't got the time to do that, I ask, well, how much time do you think you need? Because
Yes.
you can, I like training my guys 2 to 3 times a week for an hour at a time, just because we can get a lot done in that time.
Yes.
But if they were very short on time, you couldn't pay me to say to them, you're not going to get this transformation, or you're not going to lose fat or improve your health, or whatever the goal is. Because you can do amazing things in just 20 minutes. You can work your entire body in 20 minutes. And that doesn't mean that you have to just do some mad sweat based circuit,
Yeah.
CrossFit style, throw things around and work really, really hard. You just have to do the right exercises the
Yes.
right way with the right amount of tension and effort. You most there's a lot of people in the gym that are spending too much time in the gym, and they're just
Yes.
doing what's known as junk volume, exercise after exercise after exercise, high rep stuff. They should be leaving the gym, but then they notice that machine over there is free. Let's go do some of that. And none of these things are actually
Yeah.
helping you once you're in the gym for too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
You can really surprise yourself with what you can do with your body in just 4 exercises a couple of times a week done correctly.
Yeah.
But when people don't have access to that information because there's so much else going on, or they're already stuck in that mindset of you do need time, or you need a living chef or personal trainer, or things are only achievable through steroids, you're trapped in that mindset forever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
which is sad, which is really sad. And dare I say, it's a low testosterone behavior,
Oh,
because
is it really?
it's not logical. In
Oh, right.
jealousy
Yeah.
and bitterness, it's an emotional response that comes from a hormonal perspective. It comes from a hormonal place.
Yeah.
If you're optimized with your
Yeah.
if you're optimized with your hormones, you're probably not jealous about what other people are doing with their physical health. You'll be
Yeah.
congratulating them and cheering them on, and you'll be one of the people showing other people what's possible.
Yes. I like that. I do like that. Do you find that because men, ego,
Mm.
right,
Mm.
that because they'll probably feel a little bit nervous about going into a gym environment if they've not been
Mm.
in one ever, or it's been a long time, that they struggle there because it's quite nervous, let's be honest, going into the gym
Mm.
for the first time.
Yeah.
It's quite nerve-wracking for anybody. I add an
Mm.
ego in with that. I suppose that causes all
Of course.
kinds of
Of
problems,
course.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And certain gyms can be very
Yes.
intimidating environments. It would be wrong to try and to try and put this image out there that every gym is the most welcoming environment in the world and you should just go and no one actually cares what you're doing. To an extent, no one cares what you're doing.
Yeah.
Again, social media may paint this idea that we're all going to be in the background of someone's TikTok video, or you're going to get laughed at for
Yeah.
not knowing what you're doing. It's rare. It really,
Yeah.
really is rare. But it is an intimidating environment. You go in when you don't know what you're doing, and there's big guys, and there's grunting, and there's loud music, and there's metal clanging, depending what gym you go to, of course, as well.
Yeah.
But I know people that have trained in CrossFit gyms, and it's the same thing. I know people that have gone to Pilates classes and have the same response. I don't know what I'm doing. I shouldn't be here. Everyone else knows what to do, and I don't know what to. Everyone can do the exercises, and I can't. I look stupid. Everyone's looking at me, and it sounds like it's coming from a place of weakness, but it is an ego thing. It's a defense.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to look stupid, so that I shouldn't be here and I shouldn't be doing this. It's a survival thing to not look stupid in front, or to not feel like you're looking stupid in front of people. And guys are the worst for going to a gym and asking for help.
Right.
You are so much more likely to see a new lady, female, ask another female or even a male for help or train
Mm.
together than you are to see a new male doing that. Now, what options do you then have? Well, you can then go in and try and figure it out yourself, which is where you may not just look a little bit silly, but you may hurt yourself. Some guys will buy men's fitness, men's health. Even I learned before my qualifications, I was learning off of training magazines in the late
Right.
90s and the early 2000s, which are okay, but you don't really learn how to do an exercise properly from reading it. You learn by doing and being properly coached. Even video, this is one of the great things about YouTube existing, as you can see exercises being performed. But you can either try and figure it out yourself and risk injury, or doing it completely wrong and not getting anywhere with it, in which case you'll get frustrated and you're likely to stop. Or you can watch what other people are doing, take your time doing so, and then go, okay, so he's pulling this rope this way, he's pushing that dumbbell that way, his elbows are underneath his wrists here, he's going to this depth in his squat. And take your time trying to feel what feels correct and what feels wrong. And if you haven't got the patience and the awareness to do that, best thing you can do is ask for help. And you can ask anyone that's training. I think it's incredibly rare that you would ask someone and they would have a pop at you. Incredibly rare. And I think if you are unlucky enough to have that experience, you've just got someone on a bad day, or someone who just is a see you next Tuesday, right? Most people would help. Most people would. Whether you're going to get the best advice or not, I don't know. It depends on who you've asked for help. But again, this is another reason why my industry exists. We are there to not just transform lives. So I think someone who does those sorts of wild transformations, 12-week transformations, someone's gone from overweight to six-pack, etc. It's incredible. But it doesn't mean a PT who's not done that is necessarily a bad PT. Some PTs are amazing at just getting people started, getting them confident in the gym, showing them what to do, what an exercise should feel like, that is safe and effective. And there's nothing wrong. I have nothing against that in the slightest whatsoever. I think my industry loves to forget that part of the industry should exist. Everyone does need to start somewhere, and you can't just always throw people in the deep end. And whether that's using a gym instructor or whether you invest in a PT, the best thing about doing that with a PT is then you're more likely to commit to something long term.
Yes, because you've got that accountability there, haven't you?
Yeah. I've been in this industry. It'll be 18 years come the end of this year, which is terrifying. 18 years, and there's been multiple occasions where someone has said, I just want one session because I just want to learn what to do.
Right, okay.
And I'm always like, not so much in the gym I work at now, because it's a private gym, it's not a commercial one. I'm like, I can show you what to do. That's not why you need a personal trainer. You're 30, with a decent one, you're 30% likely to get a better result with someone coaching you through it, mainly because of the accountability, the consistency, and you don't have to worry about the how and the why. You just do. You do the what. That's our job, to figure out the rest, right? So you take away all the hurdles, all the things in your brain that go, I shouldn't do this exercise. Maybe I should do that one. Oh, someone's on this machine. I don't know what to do, so I just won't do anything. I'll just move on and skip that part of the workout. The accountability factor as well, of course. I think that's where the main success comes from when you invest in a personal trainer or coach in any area of your health. We're only human, right? We get tired, we give in to our emotions, we get busy and overwhelmed and stuff. I'm doing that right now. If I had someone kicking me up the arse and going, technically you had 30 minutes to train today, Rob, you could have done that, then I would have trained today. I didn't.
It's that thing as well, when you've invested money, like personally for yourself, you're more likely to do it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whereas if you just like somebody says, here's a free gym membership, or here's a free, you're more likely going to go, actually, I can't be asked today. But if you're paying money out for it, you're more likely to move.
It's not always, it's not paying for what? It's not paying for the information, because the information's already out there. And it's been out there for a long time. Before I did my qualifications, I learned from YouTube, I learned from Google, I learned from magazines, and I learned from going on mainly American strength coaches blogs because they were ahead of the curve before the UK, and that's where I learned the information. But I learned even more by then doing. The information's already out there. Everything about training is on Google for free. Okay, some private programs, no. Everything out there is available. In terms of nutrition, you can Google everything, and it's free. It costs you no more than your internet subscription, right? ChatGPT and other AIs now have read all that information and can therefore, whether it's a pro or a con, can now
so I'm on the fence with this one.
can put all that into one bite-sized, easy to read, easy to understand article, if you will, in seconds. So in terms of not knowing what to do, you've just not looked because the information's there. And the part of the reason you haven't looked is because you've not got something. One, you've not got a compelling enough reason to look because you're not in enough pain to make a change yet. Two, you've not got anyone steering you to do so. Like when I say accountability, I don't just mean military boot camp instructor style, screaming at you, ringing at you at 5 a.m. saying, "You up yet? And have you done your 10K run?" or anything like that. It's just having someone to, stay accountable to. I said I was going to do this week. Did I do it? Yes. Did I not do it? No.
Yeah.
And if you've invested in a decent coach / trainer, they can help you understand why you didn't do it and how you can make sure you don't make that mistake again. Yeah. And then suddenly that bad behavior, that bad decision, that bad habit becomes less of a habit because you're now replacing it with a more positive one and an understanding of why you were making that bad habit to begin with. Yeah. And when you make less bad habits and replace them with good ones, suddenly your body fat goes down, testosterone goes up, mood gets better, your understanding of what you're doing gets better. Yeah. And you can I have clients now that still don't know the what. They rely on me to tell them. Yeah. And they clearly admit, if you weren't here, I still wouldn't know what I'm doing. And that's okay. Yeah.
That's okay. Now it's very busy. We've got a lot going on. So that's fine. Yeah. But I will say, because it is like a new life that you create for people. You give them a new way. And I often think, for women as well, but especially for men, if they are having good sleep, they are eating well and they've got the energy, they're feeling good about themselves physically, that leads to better relationships, doesn't it? With partners, with kids. Stress is lower at work. You perform better. I mean, it literally does have so many other positive impacts as well that you wouldn't necessarily tie into it straight away, but it does affect your whole life in a good way, doesn't
it? Intensely. So it's never just about a six-pack. It's never just about looking a little bit better in a suit or with your top off. It does have knock-on effect to everything. You could be the clients that have become more productive at work and they get pay rises because of that. I have a lot of male clients that report huge increases in their sex drive and therefore their sex life and therefore the quality of their marriage. Because that's another, going back to talking about people specifically in their 40s, those that have been married for a long time may have noticed the bedroom's gone a little bit dead. And I'm not saying just losing weight is the way to fix that. Optimizing your hormones certainly is one way to fix that. And if your hormones are optimized and you're not inflamed all the time, you haven't got cortisol running through your veins, suddenly you're a happier person to be around. You're less moody. You're more attentive. You're probably a better communicator, and all those things combined, probably a better person to lie in bed with. And your missus is now going to want to jump your bones because you've not come home from work stressed and you've not, your belly isn't touching the ceiling and things like that. And you're not embarrassed. You're not embarrassed as well.
That's it. It's nice for men to have pride in themselves, isn't it? Yeah. It's a big thing. Yeah. I love that. Well, last question. Ask everybody. Hardest question.
Okay.
Tell me 3 good things about yourself.
Okay. Should have warned me about this one.
Aye, that's the fun of it.
3 good things about myself. Okay. One, I think what we've kind of already mentioned earlier is I don't feel old. I can't imagine I will let myself feel it. I think even when I'm 50, I'll still be young at heart and young at mind as well.
Yeah.
Because I love laughing. I love creating. The idea of being miserable and angry all the time, to me, that's hell. I've had enough. I've had enough role models in my life who were poor role models that showed me that's how you end up when you live a life of stress and neglect and sedation. And it's enough of a warning sign for me to go, that's not how I want to spend the last however many years of my life I got, So that's one good thing. Two, I don't quit. I don't always succeed. But I don't stop.
Right.
And my direction may change every now and then, but whether it's my own thing or whether it's helping clients, whether it's trying to build certain aspects of my business or trying to create something, I'm quite musical as well, played in bands throughout my life, and there's some gigs that I've been to this year that have reminded me you should be doing this as well. You should be still playing on stage and things like that. I never go, that's not going to work, and stop out of frustration. Let's find a way, because there's always a way. And even if you explore and you do some introspection and ask yourself, and obviously our journaling, like we have a mutual experience with Paul Moore.
Yeah.
Well, I'd never considered journaling, or even
I didn't.
half of the questions I asked myself. I thought journaling was just literally like a diary, writing down your thoughts. Dear diary, Jane was mean to me today.
Exactly.
And that's it. I didn't know what journaling was. And but it's you then may find, okay, the path you were on just wasn't the right path, but now you found the right path, so you keep going down that one. So I don't quit. Like I said, I don't always succeed, but that's not a bad thing. Some things you're not meant to succeed in. You're meant to try different things out and find out what actually works for you and not. And I think that actually leads me on to the last one, is I'm always curious. I always want to know more, or try more, and that's why I think I get the results I do with my clients as well. I know it's not just one way to do it. There's continuous learning. And like we've touched on AI a little bit. I'm curious. I want to know more. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use all of it. I don't care if it's ChatGPT. I don't care if it's Midjourney, which is an art creation one, which I spend a lot of time mucking around on. I have a musical background, and there's AI music creators. What do they sound like? Okay, they're terrible at the moment. They're absolutely terrible.
Yeah, they'll get better. They're learning.
they will get better. They will get better. And I'm curious about people, and I'm curious about learning more about my clients and what makes them tick. And I'm curious about my friends and my relationships. And when my twins come, I'm going to be curious about them. I'm going to be studying them like nothing I've ever studied before. I don't have kids, and up until now, I didn't think it was in my pathway. I just didn't think it was going to happen, and now it's happening. So,
I'm so happy
now
for
I'm curious.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is you can end up down some pretty deep rabbit holes about certain things. So you've always got to be aware of what you're doing. There's only so many UFO forums I can go in before I realise I haven't done any work today. So tone down the curiosity and tone up the discipline a little bit.
I love that. So if because there's going to be 40-plus-year-old men listening to this podcast. How do they get involved in the fat loss fast lane? Where can they find you? What is it?
So I do mainly, it's an online program, because I have some in-person clients in central London, and I recognise not everyone can get to central London all the time. If you're in central London, you want to train physically with me, then the best place to find me is Instagram, where it's just my personal handle, which is Robb with 2 B's Core. So ROBBCORE, Robb Core. Because I'm terrible at marketing. I'm absolutely terrible at it. So it's technically my personal Instagram. That's the best place to find me, where I talk about stuff like this anyway. If you wanted to train in person with me, central London, if you can't get in central London, then what we do is we set up calls. We well, we do what's right for you, the individual. I have some clients where I'm talking to them on a daily basis. Some we do a check-in every fortnight. Most send me videos and voice notes and stuff like that. It's like you've got me in your back pocket, basically.
Yes.
I'm not a here's your PDF and see you
Yes.
later or
What
anything like
works
that.
for them, really.
And what I will say as well, because obviously I don't know, we started talking about mainly as men in their 40s. So some women may have switched off as well. But I have a lot of women that send me their husbands. So if your husband's moaning to you because men don't ask for help, your husband's moaning to you, ladies, then same thing. I'll happily take them in and sort them out for you.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you for being such an inspiration. I do believe that you should be on a podium shouting this to everybody in the UK, because if we don't get this sorted, I do believe it's going to lead to massive problems for future generations. So you inspire me with everything you do. So thank you
so much for having me on, and right back at you as well. Back at you as well. And I think we need more people like us in each industry where, again, it's not just chicken and veg and train with weights. There's this thing in here which drives all those things, you know, and that's what needs the most work than anything.
Yeah, we'll keep on shouting, mate.
You know it.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks so much, Amy.